You say when.
When?
Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Frankie-san.
And I'm Mark.
Okay, couple quick announcements, and we're going to explain why these particular DVDs are out here. Okay, a lot of news. Now, we're taping this on the weekend of the internals that just opened up this weekend. So it's being taped ahead of time for I forget the date, but for Saturday. So we're doing a pre-tape. What's happening is we don't do Saturdays no more. We're doing Monday and Tuesday. So this time we're ahead of time instead of being, falling behind on the topics and everything like that. So it is, what's today's date? Monday?
The 8th.
The 8th, thank you. Okay, and you'll be seeing this on Saturday. So on Monday, what happened, a bunch of news dropped by. And but before we get into that, real quick, shame on you, backfire. So that's why my partner has his stopwatch, so we can make sure we don't get cut off at the end of the show. That's why we're timing this. Anyway, real quick, this will be a repeat for Thanksgiving because everybody's doing, Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping, and all that. So this show will be repeated, but we'll be back with 2 shows in December.
And it also on YouTube.
And also on YouTube, we're going to expand on something like I promised in the last show. Not yet. That's going to expand in December. That has to do with the whole music thing, but I'm going to save it for the December shows. We're going to have 2 shows there. But in the meantime, you go to YouTube, and we have Instagram, Pinterest, and then hopefully by the end of November, I'm going to have that music channel opened up. But anyway, also on that channel, I got a lot of videos about James Bond, the making of. And the reason I put those up there is because if you notice in Amazon already, they got 007, No Time to Die, listed for, if you notice in Amazon, Prime Amazon video, they got a lot of James Bond movies posted. Right now they're doing the Daniel Craig and the Pierce Brosnan. But if you want to buy the movies, they're not existed. They only got the box sets. And they don't, only the Roger Moore collection set has the digital copy. They don't have the regular copies on Sean Connery, Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton. So it's kind of a ripoff because they plan to re-release everything in 4K. The reason I have those videos, the behind the scenes, the making of, is because we don't know if those scenes are gonna wind up on 4K. So watch out. They're gonna repackage the whole series all over again for 4K release early next year because that's gonna be the official 60th anniversary or something.
I guess, yeah, 60. We'll go to 60.
Right, okay. Now somebody asked me, wait, well, how about the other Ultimate franchise of 65 years? Godzilla? I'm going to be doing specials. It's all going to be on YouTube. I'm going to be doing specials on 007, King Kong vs. Godzilla. I'm going to be going into F9. There's a lot of explaining to do about this movie because this morning, what happened was Universal stepped in and said, listen, you talk to The Rock. Because The Rock, the Red Notice movie on Netflix, we didn't get a chance to see it yet. Review it yet, but it's not doing good. Really bad reviews. So Rock really can't say anything because he's got to wait to Jungle Cruise #2, and Amelia Blunt has got a bunch of other projects to do. The rumor is her and her husband, they're being talked to about Fantastic Four. So long story short, So a long story short is the Rock really can't say yes or no. They told Vin Diesel, get The Rock back for Fast 10, and that's official. Okay. So I'm also. I don't have it here. Doctor Who. I'm going to be doing a special. The showrunner, Chris Chanel, whatever his name is, out, and they're bringing the original showrunner who did the David Tennant. They're bringing him back, so they're revamping the whole show all over again. Same thing with like what they're doing with James Bond. The rumor is that Henry Cavill is going to be the new James Bond. Hopefully, finally, because he's officially the contract is out along with Ben Affleck for the after the Flash. They're going to revamp the whole DC universe. Now, the reason I got Dune out is because it got okayed. Remember the last show we said they should continue this, okay? Because everybody wants to see those giant sandworms. But anyway, he's going to continue. With the Messiah, and then Children of Dune, which he's going to produce for HBO Max. Now, rumor is Netflix and Amazon want to get a hold of the rights because HBO Max is not. It did really good on HBO Max, but the marketing, as far as Time Warner goes, they screwed it up. It's not even going to cost $100 million in US. And Denise, director, who's kind of ticked off about the whole marketing. I mean, we all know HBO Max is going to be taken over. They're going to take over Warner Brothers, and everybody works for Warner Brothers are going to be out the door. Good for them. And as far as Dune, they should have done was do the Zack Snyder Justice League. Take the time, put the miniseries on, like they're giving Peacemaker. Give him a miniseries.
Yeah, because the miniseries and the shows are usually to develop a following, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to develop a following. You build that following. You build that core audience. You put a movie out, and boom, they'll show up.
And also, you get to know the characters.
Right, look at Batman.
Well, let's start with the Eternals. We got Eternals behind us over here. We got a different poster. I just wanted to put that spaceship up there. Because again, there's a lot of spin-offs going on with this here. Eternals couldn't get an audience. For me, I give it a 3 out of 5. I like the movie, but what they should have done was do this. I'm calling it do the Zack, meaning give it to one of the channels who got deep pockets. IP pockets like Amazon, Netflix, and let them take the time, like Marvel, What If series. You sold some of that stuff.
Yes.
And just give all the characters one episode. They got 10 characters in Eternals. Give them each an episode, then wrap it up with a grand finale. They squish everything. I like the picture. I like the actors, the special effects. If I got a name, the director, I think she did a great job. Everybody was good. Where they should have done too much storytelling, they should have did the Marvel or do the Zack, give them an extra $50 million and just stretch it out and make it a special miniseries. That's what they should have done. What's your opinion on all that?
Well, as you were saying, the reason why they put these movies out is because in the theaters, because that's where the money's at.
Right.
If they put it on television, no one's really paying for that stuff. A lot of people are just sometimes seeing it because it already comes with subscriptions. So you bring 3 people into a room and they lose money.
Well, there's a different aspect.
I'm just saying,
things.
this is just, you gave me your opinion, I'm just giving an opinion.
Okay.
That the reason why they want to put these things in box office, like look at James Bond. They wanted $50 million for that when they were thinking themselves, wow, we could have made $1 billion on this film, but we'll just take 50 to break even and get a little bit of profit. So you see on the television, they're looking at a lot of losses. You see, if you look at that internally. So going to Eternals, my opinion of it, it was very dramatic. But I guess that's what happens when they want to build a story, they want to build a universe, they want us to care, so they make it really dramatic, almost like a soap opera. It's very soap opera-esque.
Yes.
And then they're fighting these demons that become too CGI. So then, I was telling somebody, as a spoiler, I said, hey, you want to hear a spoiler of the Eternals? No, don't give me spoilers. And I go, okay, here's a spoiler. They're all friends that were just hanging out in London. They were doing a lot of opium, and they were in an opium den. So they wake up and say, oh my God, did you fight a dragon? Oh, I fought a dragon too, man. Whoa. It would be like Train Spotting. Because in reality, all that CGI stuff, they saw that in their heads. It wasn't real.
Right.
But as we all know, when you do action, we do CGI, you do all this stuff, it costs a lot of money. So then they have to expand it with all this other, sorry to say, trite stuff of soap opera-esque. Same thing they would do in the 70s. They'd make a long time before an action scene because that action scene was blowing the major budget.
Yeah.
Like Bullet. Remember Bullet?
Oh, yeah.
It would take a long time till you saw that one action scene of the San Francisco car chase.
Right.
They blew the budget on that, but it took a long time to get there. That was almost the ending of the movie, right?
Right. Same thing. Here's a good example of 1970s big budget picture with Charlton Heston, Earthquake. But you got to know all the characters for about a half an hour, 40 minutes before the first earthquake hit. And then you see the big budget, the buildings falling down. And
they did that with everything.
Yeah,
Towering
but
Inferno. It takes forever. Like when you would
get to know the characters that you couldn't care less because they're all going to die.
Yeah. You want to see the action, but they know that they have to string along because it costs like Star Trek. These things, if they put Dune on television, it's going to cost them probably $1 million an episode. In today's market, we're talking $1 million back then when Star Trek just first started.
Right.
The Next Generation, it was $1 million. That was back in the 90s. Now, an episode probably of Dune would probably cost a couple of million.
But the thing is, the whole thing with the IP streaming is these companies can't afford that. They can afford it because they got deep pockets. The whole idea with that is, I mean, it's apples and oranges as far as the money. That's the managers and the bank people and accounting. That's their headaches.
Right.
But with
So-
streaming, they got IP. They got deep money. Amazon, like for example, a picture with Tom Hanks, and Apple paid for that submarine battleship movie. I forgot the name of it, but they'll also pay for Flinch about a scientist who builds a robot to look after his dog. Great picture, 4 out of 5. The studios didn't want it because it can be a cult movie. We want $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah, it's a cult movie.
But Apple has got deep pockets, and they want original content, and they can afford something like that. And on top of that, what it does is it holds on to the customers. If they hold on to the customers, that's what happened with Zack Snyder. HBO Max saw that. Okay, people are going to subscribe to see that, and hopefully we won't lose that many people that subscribe, unsubscribe. But we keep 75%, and then we're going to keep giving them more things like Dune, and that way they can hold on to the IP. And if people subscribe per monthly, that's $100 million per week. So they get $500 million approximation. But they got that kind of money, they can afford to spend that kind of money.
All right, but let me
Regular
interject.
studios don't have
Okay.
that. They
We
don't
got
have,
it.
they
We
don't
got
have
it.
those deep pockets.
All right. Let me interject. Give
Okay.
what I think. I'm saying that these properties are very expensive. They were capturing a lot of subscribers on Netflix and these other streaming services from shows like The Office, Seinfeld, and Friends. So you could do shows like that would cost less money. Sad to say, it would cost less money. They would hook people in. But why don't they do that? A show like Friends, with not the same cast, a new cast, would be a lot cheaper than doing a major box office movie and put it on streaming. It's sort of like saying to yourself, you could hook in a person with a series on once they get hooked on like an Office or Parks and Recreation, you hook them in and it costs a lot less money than a Next Generation.
But
I'm just letting you know.
But you know why? Because they're going after people like me. I couldn't care less about The Office, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, but there are
Friends.
more of those people who are.
I hate those
You can
shows.
hate them as much as you want,
I
but there are
wasn't-
more viewers that exist for those shows. Look at the
Yes.
numbers. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, but they want that other 25%.
I'm just
that
telling
they're
you.
not getting like me,
So-
who want to see
so
Justice League.
it-
They
it-
want to get everybody in there. So if it
I don't know.
costs a lot of money,
there was
to
a lot
get
of
Justice League-
backlash for that.
But
People
still-
didn't believe in the Snyder Cut, and then we get into the thing. The end thing about Eternals, I want to put the nail in the coffin, is saying like, why was Angelina Jolie doing an English accent? Just because every single actor there was from another, I guess, country. Like you have the Scottish guy, you have the most of them were English actors, and then all of a sudden Angelina Jolie wants to do an English accent, which was no reason for it. I'm like, don't do it.
That's a minor point.
No, it's just that
She-
some of
she's
these
following
things
the
took you
director's
out.
Directions.
It just some of these things took me out of the movie. I'm just letting you know.
You weren't crazy about the movie.
No, I was not crazy about the movie.
Okay.
I put it in the thing as like, oh, if I want to see a drama, do we do spoilers? Can I say one spoiler?
Yeah, by the time there's going to be by the time the show goes out air, it'll be
Yeah,
the second
okay.
weekend. So
they had
spoilers.
a
Go
scene
ahead.
where two of the Eternals were making love, and people in the audience were kind of shocked at that. It's like,
Yeah,
aren't
that
these?
wasn't necessary. No.
Yeah. These are creatures of immense power. And for them to have like an ordinary sexual relation scene didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It was kind of ridiculous.
Soap
It was sort of
opera
like
filler.
drama. Yeah, it was soap opera drama filler.
Filler.
That's why I didn't like it. That's why, if anything, I would give it a
the
3.
film-
The
the film-
acting was great. I didn't like Angelina Jolie. Selma Hayek was but the rest of the new guys, they were great. But soap opera.
My thing about the film was the timeline. It was all over the place. That's why it should
Yeah,
have
they
been a
messed up the
miniseries.
timeline.
They should have introduced one character at a time in sequence for the grand finale. The reason I liked it was I had big, giant creatures. Hey, kaiju monsters, big giant
Yeah, but
creatures.
they didn't look as
But
good
no,
as
they could have been better.
They look cheap. They look like this whole production almost looked like it could have, like you say, it could have been on television. It's almost like what they did with the Inhumans. These kaiju monsters were terrible. CGI, come on, if you really examine it, they look 100% Battlefield video game.
I thought they were better because of Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. You only had two dragons at the end of the movie, and the whole sequence was dark.
Well, I'm not giving Shang-Chi any high praises, but
No.
that's what I'm saying. Look at what's that thing, that movie with the real kaiju monsters and the BattleTech robots that came out, Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm.
Those kaiju monsters seemed more realistic. It seemed like they had more time to spend on that.
Right, more detailed.
Yeah,
More detailed,
these
yeah.
were sort of like, they were like so CGI and so fake. That's why I was saying, at the end of it, they could all be waking up from being in an opium den and saying, "Oh my goodness, I was chasing the dragon, my friend. I was
Okay,
there."
let's look at
Yes, sir.
MCU, because we know at the end of the year the biggest grossing movie is going to be Spider-Man. Okay,
Not Batman? Oh, Batman's next year.
Next year.
Okay.
Okay, but out of the three movies right now, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Ten Rings, and Black Widow, which is the best out of the three?
I would have
Me,
to say,
none of them.
I would say out of the three is Black Widow. I mean, if you
Yes,
were
sir,
to
because you
count
like
the
Scarlett
three of those.
Johansson, but the film
No,
itself,
it's not about Scarlett Johansson. I like the other actors were a lot better than Scarlett Johansson, because that's the amazing thing about Scarlett Johansson. She dropped the Russian accent.
Finally.
Yeah, she didn't want to dye her hair anymore. She wanted to go back to her natural blonde, but she's not a natural blonde. She said she wanted to do it to, in other words, she didn't want to put any work into it. At one point,
Right.
she gave up. She said, "Oh, I don't want to do my hair like this anymore because it's hurting my hair. I don't want to do the Russian accent because I'm not good at it." They should have just hired a Russian person with red hair
Well, they should have
who
done
could
it
do
in the
that.
beginning, right?
Who could act?
But, yeah. Ooh.
There you go. Burn.
Ooh.
Burn.
Ooh.
She got third-degree burn. She goes to the hospital. So I'm not a big Scarlett Johansson fan. What should have happened,
Well, I am. So.
all the other actors in it were amazing. And their accents were a lot better than Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson was the only one like, no, I'm not going to do the accent. I quit with the accent.
But okay, so you still put it with Black Widow over the
Yeah,
other two.
over those two, because the story was better, the acting was better. I actually cared about the characters. The other two, I didn't care about the characters. The CGI monsters took me out of it because the CGI monsters weren't done well enough.
Shang-Chi, the only thing I liked was the tribute, a bus tribute to Speed with the Jackie Chan reference.
Well, they should have.
That's about it. That's the
would've
only
been
thing
great
that
if-
movie had for me.
It would have been great if they woke up from a opium den also.
Okay,
Oh
let-
my God, I was chasing that dragon. Woo!
Okay, let's switch
Yes,
universes. Okay, let's go to the DC universe. Okay, now I put up the Suicide Squad because Idris Elba supposedly he's going to start his own franchise. He's going to do Luther. That was a BBC TV show that he had for a lot of years. I think 9 years.
Was he playing he was playing a bad guy, a criminal, right?
Yeah.
Like a mob guy.
So they're gonna start trying to do a franchise out of that. So he's gonna go back to do that, headline that. We know about John Cena. Footnote to John Cena. He did a show called American Grid. If you go to YouTube, go to YouTube, type in American Grid. Go to the second season, episode 1. He's doing opening credits, talking about what is American Grid. He's talking from a diner. The camera pushes up, and you go into 1 minute, and you see me in one of the booths.
Ooh.
So a little
So
trivia
so now you know John Cena.
there. Other people met him. I didn't meet him, unfortunately, though. But
Well,
anyway,
he missed out.
well, okay. There's a lot more about background work that I do. Okay, but anyway, that's going to be on my little YouTube shows. But over here, we're trying to get to the major thing.
Okay.
Okay. Now, of course, you're a big fan of Suicide Squad.
Yes,
Now
loved
tell
it.
me- That's why
Remember?
we put up the poster.
Yeah, remember
Why?
I was telling you Suicide Squad, I love it because you make a lot of characters disposable and you wreck them, and you only leave yourself with 2 or 3 characters, and at the end, it sort of becomes like the Dirty Dozen.
Right.
Don't you?
But-
Don't we
well,
all love the
but
Dirty
that-
Dozen?
Yeah, that's what's based
We
on.
love, yeah, exactly. We all love the
Yeah,
Dirty
it's-
Dozen.
it's not an original concept. It's based on
no,
the
not
Dirty
at all.
Dozen.
The concept's been around since Sinbad.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Yep.
Sinbad, since no, not Oedipus. What's that thing? The Homer Odyssey.
Right.
That's been since
yeah,
Greek mythology.
Greek
yeah.
mythology, uh-huh.
Well, you have a bunch of people. Everybody's the Argonauts and little by little, they all get squashed, and only 3 people are left.
Right.
Or 2 or 3. Yeah. It's great. It's a great concept. It's a great concept for swashbuckling, high seas adventure.
For me, I didn't like that. They got again. It got episodic, soap opera. The polka dot man about his mother that dragged it down. The girl with the rats, her father, and you know those certain sections, it just dragged on. And
Well, it's because I'm sorry to say it's because look, if you really examine these people, if you examine like let's say criminals or like a Tony Soprano or a Batman. In reality, you would really be disgusted by these people. You would not want to follow them. But a lot of people, because the way they write it, they make you like the bad guy. But in reality, if you knew who the bad guy was, or if you knew who the vigilante was, you wouldn't want anything to do with these people because they're psychotics.
well, yeah, well,
They're psychotic.
that's what the whole gang is about. A bunch of
Yeah,
psychotics.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is,
trying
like,
to
they make it seem
Right.
appealing. It's the same thing
Right.
with any superhero. Batman, in reality, nobody would want to be his friend.
No, but he's a nut job.
He's a nut job, exactly. He's scary. If you're there with him, meanwhile he's thinking about how you're wasting his time. He's almost like a fascist, like Rorschach. Mm-hmm. Like they would say, Rorschach, the comedian of The Watchmen. That's why I love that because they were more realistic with it. They're like, no, these people are sick. They're broken. Nobody wants to be their friend. They don't even want to be each other's friend, and they know each other. And none of them wanted to hang out with each other because they knew what kind of people they were.
Talk about broken. Talk about broken. What do you think of the new Batman trailer?
Oh, it looks great because remember, like I said, anybody could be Batman. It's just difficult to be Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. Now, the guy who's playing Bruce Wayne, I guess he's going to be playing it as young Batman, so he doesn't have his bearings. So
Right.
on those trailers, he looks scared.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like he's found his footing. He's not even sure what he is. Like when he in one scene when he punches the glass to confront the bad guy, he even looks like he's scared, like he's not sure of himself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if he's playing it that way or he's in real life he's scared because he's like, oh my goodness, I better not mess this up. I think in reality he's thinking to himself, oh my goodness, I better not turn this into a cluster F because if I do, I am dead.
That was Robert Pattinson. And,
Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
Right, he came from that Twilight vampire thing.
Yeah, yeah. He
But,
looks scared in it. You see him in the trailers as Bruce Wayne, he looks scared. You see him as Batman, he looks scared. It's like, I better not mess this up like George Clooney. Because if I do, I'm dead.
I know. What was it? Who was the guy? As a matter of fact, Angelina Jolie did a film earlier this year. She played a fire ranger and the bad guy was Holt. He did a zombie movie. He was the Beast, an X-Men. I forget what his name. Holt? Something Holt? John Holt or something like that?
Are we talking about, oh no, I'm thinking about the later, the first X-Men, where Fraser Crane played the Beast.
No.
You're talking about the younger guy.
The younger guy, right.
Right.
He played the Beast, and he was he auditioned, and the studio wanted him to be the new Batman. And no, excuse me, it was the other way around. My mistake. The director wanted that gentleman, John Holt, I believe it is. It's an English guy. Anyway, he played the young Beast, and he did a vampire movie. They wanted him to be a Batman. The studio said no. We want Robert Pattinson because he's more
Name recognition, yeah.
Name recognition, and him and the director did not get along. So
Yeah,
a
I can
little
imagine.
trivia there. But Robert Pattinson did hold his own with Willem Dafoe in the Lighthouse movie. I forgot the exact name. It was black and white.
Oh, yeah.
And Willem Dafoe owns his own theater company. He's been
Right.
nominated. Okay, so he's
right.
an actor's actor.
Right.
And he held up his own
Right.
in that Lighthouse
No,
movie. So he can hold on.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's English. That's all you have to tell me. If a guy's English or a female's English, I automatically assume they're a great actor.
Well, Pattinson is
He's English.
American.
No, he's English.
Is he?
Yeah, he's English.
Oh, okay.
All you have to tell
I'm
me.
thinking the other guy was
yeah,
English, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All you have to tell me is an actor is English,
Yeah.
female or male, and I immediately say, yeah, this person's a great actor because they really hone their craft. They're real professionals.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not like the Americans.
Americans are lazy.
Yeah, they don't take it seriously. You put an English actor, he knows his reputation's on the line. If he messes up, he's dead to the acting community in England.
Yeah, well,
Ooh, we got 25.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna have more on these little segments on YouTube for the rest of November because we're gonna have the show will be repeated for Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, we don't do any more live shows on Saturdays at 5 p.m. That's out. So these are pre-taped. So that's why some of the information is a little bit backlogged, is ahead of ourselves, or maybe we'll. But anyway, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Again, Video Express is on YouTube, and we're going to have a lot more little mini segments. I'm going to break down F9, what's going on with that for F10. I'm going to do my King Kong versus Godzilla, the whole history franchise of Godzilla. It's going to be a couple episodes special with that. Anyway, and don't forget, when you go to the website on YouTube, you see a little icon, Instagram. Sign up. Subscribe.
Yes, YouTube.
Like.
YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Like I say, Patterson's a great actor, but remember, Bruce Wayne, Batman's a different beast. We got 30 seconds.
Anyway, I'm Frank.
And I'm Mark.
Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you with a brand new show in December. In the meantime, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. See you then.
Like they say, happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, I think that should do it.